Hey y'all, and I'm back. Shirts, showered. I smell good. I would put my armpit in the screen like, smell me, but I'm not. It's your girl, Taquisa Jones, aka Killer Queen Quilla. Y'all like squeeze. Get your damn intro together. Y'all know who the hell I am. Y'all remember who I am. Anyway, y'all like squeeze. Didn't we just see your breast? Yes, I hadn't gotten in the shower. I am clean. You could look at my face and tell this is washed skin. Okay. So we supposed to be on Google. Nah. I know y'all like squeeze. What is our Google question? Is you gonna give us a Google question that we've been waiting on forever, or is you just finna randomly look up a Google shit? No, we have a destination. We are going somewhere. We have a goal in mind. I will lead you there. Now, I don't know if you know this, but Funyuns is not made from potato chips. Funyuns is made from, they consist primarily of cornmeal, using an extrusion process representing the shape and texture of a fried onion ring. A solid onion mix gives them their flavor. And I don't know. It made me think, like, can I make Funyuns at home? Can I buy some cornmeal, some salt, and some onion mix and make me some damn Funyuns? You probably can. Anywho, on to y'all like Tracy. If you say anywho one more motherfucker time. Listen, I'm trying to get you where the fuck you need to go. Okay? Pay attention. You probably want to leave this video. But so I was watching this video. It came up on my feed. I don't know how it came up on my feed. I don't know why it came up on my feed, but it came up on my feed. Getting swallowed by a whale. So according to this video, if you get swallowed by a whale, you have about 16 hours before their stomach fluids melt you. Which will make sense since it takes about, but it also depends on what kind of whale swallows you. Because this one man, he got stuck in a whale's stomach and he was in that bitch for like 3 days and 3 nights. I'm only saying 3 days and 3 nights because he said he was in that bad boy for 3 days and 3 nights. So if he was in that bad boy for 3 days and 3 nights and not 3 days and 2 nights, I gotta let you know it was 3 days and 3 nights. So it's not. So if you sitting there thinking to yourself, squeeze, can you survive in the belly of a stomach? Yes, you might be 16 hours in some, and in others, you got 3 days and 3 nights. And I know some of you are over there like, what about the one that got swallowed by the whale in the Bible? Well, that was in the Bible. God had a hand with that. That's like the man that was in the well for 16 hours. The whale actually the whale had got killed. Like, okay, so the one that got swallowed that was in the well 16 hours. Let me paint the story for you. Okay, so he ended up in the well for 16 hours. They was hunting whales, and they was harpooning the whales. They was harpooning the whale, and the whale bit the boat in half. That's how the human ended up in the whale's stomach. So when the whale bit the boat, I guess the person was on that piece of boat, and he got swallowed. And he got swallowed, right? So when he got swallowed. So, okay, you got that down. You remember that, right? You remember he got swallowed by the whale. So they still attacking it, not the other pieces of ship, because he bit that motherfucker in 2 pieces. So he bit it in 2 pieces, but then he also took the piece that was in his mouth. So they were still harpooning the shark, and I guess the whale went off wounded, right? But at the same time, you're like, Tweez, wasn't they fucking with the whale first? Like, wasn't the whale just defending itself? Focus. So, the whale going off over there, right? The whale, it going off, is wounded, it's swimming away, trying to get away, it's got a human in it, don't even know, it done swallowed the whole motherfucking human, because whales don't really like people. eating people, I mean. So it done swam off, but then it succumbed to his wounds and it died. I like to really? That's what happened. It succumbed to his wounds and it died. And then, luckily, cause I'm just trying to figure out how that story would have went. How that story would have went if other motherfucking whales, if other animals would have filmed it and started eating at the whale before they found the whale that had died and was able to cut that bad boy up and see that their homie was still in it, alive. Because if the other ones did it, would they have ate him, or would they have let him go? Because he didn't seem like he was woke. It seemed like he was disoriented. You know, it took a couple days for him to get back to his normal self. So, you know. What type of whales can you survive in their stomach? They say, well, the veracity of the story is in question. It's physically possible for a sperm whale to swallow a whole human, as they are known to swallow giant squid whole. However, such a person will be crushed, drowned, or suffocated in the whale's stomach. Okay, and plus the sperm whale has four chamber stomachs. Can you live in a whale? Hey. Here goes the story right here. Swallows alive, man survives inside whale's stomach for 3 days. This was in 2016. A Spanish fisherman who drowned in the sea is back with a very interesting story. The man who disappeared for several days after he went overboard during bad storm has returned to share his survival tale. The 56-year-old fisherman Luigi Marquez claimed that a whale swallowed him. According to Marquez, he stayed there for 3 days and nights. When Marquez then returned home, the Coastal Guard tried to find him but failed to locate him, and he was considered dead. This giant beast swallowed me the morning after a storm, he told local reporters. It is the most frightening thing I have ever lived. Everything was pitch black and I was shivering cold. The only thing that kept me alive were the raw fish I ate and the light from my waterproof watch. This is how I kept in touch with time. And the smell. I never forgot the horrible stench of pure the composition. I had to wash for 3 days before the odor went away. Louis Marquez told reporters. This is truly a miracle. Saint Mary of Jesus has heard our prayers. I prayed, and I never lost faith. And the Lord has brought me back my precious Louis, told his wife Penelope Marquez to local reporters. Though there are many speculations of what Marquez is saying, but he claimed that he was inside the well for 72 hours before it flushed him out. So, okay. Because at the end of the day, in order for a whale to get rid of you, you either gotta flush you out, means you came, it's like they shitted you out, but you came out through the horn on their head or whatever, or they coughed you back up. That means they spit you back out. Okay, we can do this. I can. Okay. Oh, boom. Here we go. Here goes something recent. 2019. I said that was in 2016. I know you're like, tweets. Can we get something recent in this bitch? Okay. A South African photographer has a whale of a survival story, and the stunning photos to prove it. Rainer Scannott, 51, had his own personal book of Jonah moment when his head and torso were gobbled up by a whale while he was shooting footage of a sardine run off the coast near Port Elizabeth Harbor in South Africa. He was swallowed by a 15-ton whale. Okay. I held my breath and I was prepared, and that's the only thing I could do. I mean, there was no other thing I could do. Snarneff told today's Kierner Simmons. I mean, you can't fight a 15-ton animal. True. Woo! He was in the mouth of a Bardell whale, which can grow to 55 feet and weigh up to 30 tons. He was thankfully on the track for about 2 seconds before the whale let him free. The incredible scene that was captured that was captured by a photographer Hans Thompson was in the Nilla boat with his wife Skelly. You see, he got spit it out. I was just holding myself, embracing myself, and calm myself down, not to be panicked, and it worked out. He spat me out, and everyone's happy. Okay, boom. So this whale low key couldn't have swallowed him. So that was the thing. My second thought was obviously he can't swallow me because the throat of a whale is not big enough to swallow a human. And my next thought, it was most likely going to dive down with me. So, and plus the whale doesn't understand that it's got a human in its mouth. It's like, shit, I got something in my mouth that's too fucking big for me to swallow. Gotta spit it out. Okay, so according to this is 2021. This is Google. Because I just read to you several stories about people getting swallowed by whales. So we know people can't get swallowed by fucking whales. So, whales in general are not capable of swallowing a human being and therefore will not eat you. However, there is a species of whale that does pose a legit challenge to that general theory, and that's sperm whales. Can you live inside a blue whale? If gas inside a whale, it's probably methane, and that's not going to help you out very much. We do know that whales can be flammable, so there is some gas. They do have gassy pockets, but it's not air, That's not the question. The question was, can a human survive being... The question was, can you live inside a blue whale? Like, at this point, I feel like Google just be like, this didn't answer the question, but it's got the word in the question. It's got the word in the answer. This don't got no fucking blue whale. It just got whale. Like... Well, we know certain whales can't swallow you because their stomach ain't big enough. Okay, well, we know a whale shark can't swallow you either. A whale shark probably can't fit you down the esophagus, but mariners claim that. Claim. Okay, so far it's not looking like it. But a lot of people was worried. There was a lot of people worried. Not recently, but like in 2012 and 2013, there was a lot of people worried about being swallowed by whales. Questions that was asked was like, can you live inside a whale? What would happen if you were swallowed by a whale? Scientifically speaking, is it possible for a person to live inside a whale? Hold on. They said scientifically spoken. That's it. For days and survive after the whale vomits. That would be physically impossible. No air, no breathing. But remember the story of Jonah inside the belly of the big fish refers to what happened to him after God had told him to preach to people in Nevada. He has to announce that their sins will be their destruction. But Jonah was afraid to go there and tell them. The Bible says that after he lived inside for 3 days. And remember the dude for no, not the one for South Africa. Y'all remember the sailor who got ate? He lived inside of the ship for 3 days. So maybe you can live inside of a. I've been told that in the language of that area, even to this day, there is a idiotic expression to be a fish, which is something like in English to be in a fish, but which is something like in English to be in a pickle or to be in a difficult situation, not knowing what to do. And to be in a big fish means, I think I read that it was Arab, I don't remember, means it was very seriously difficult or confusion about what to do. I assume this biblical story to be used in such expressions to show how hard it was for Jonah to decide whether or not to obey God. There are many parables and semiotic references in the Bible, and it seems obvious to me this is one of them. Is it possible for... See what I'm saying? If I ever get swallowed by a whale, could I just sit in its mouth and wait for an opportunity to swim out? And it's crazy. Like, what? Nobody thought they was gonna get well. Like, what was in 2000? Was it 2030 and 2013 and 2017? Like, was that a lot of whale movies being made? And everyone was like, "Oh my God, can I get eaten by a whale?" Because that's all the time I'm seeing the years for these questions. Scientifically speaking, no whale or shark can swallow a person whole. The third are simply not large enough. Even the largest whale have relatively small thirds. The only possibility which I'm aware would be truly here's grouper. If the grouper were large enough, and I mean really big, if we ever swallow a person whole, no such grouper has been recorded in history other than in Jonah 1:17. However, that doesn't mean that such grouper did not exist. I'm assuming your question is in reference to Jonah 1:17. Okay. Okay. But okay, this was in 2000. This was in 2017. So we ain't gonna look into that so much. Okay. So a human whale can't swallow you. A blue whale damn sure can't swallow you. I was just thinking the blue whale can swallow you because that motherfucking mouth is so fucking huge. But apparently, just because his mouth is huge does not have nothing to do with his fucking throat. Little ass throats. But you know what? Just because I told y'all you can't really be swallowed by a whale does not mean that you just have to go over there and be like, oh, we can't be swallowed by a whale, so now we shouldn't watch whale stories. Nope, we gonna still watch them whale stories and watch them get swallowed by whales. Because in my favorite anime, they had to go inside the whale to get a flower. And it was people living inside the motherfucking whale. I didn't believe it was real, but now we know it's not for real for a fact. Okay, well, no, we don't know it's not real for a fact because, like I said, it's weird because you have stories of people surviving in whales. So, you know what I'm saying? Not just the Bible. Even though the Bible, some people play a huge part, but for the people that the Bible don't play a huge part for, I'm just saying, it's other stories out there of people, being swallowed by whales and living. Okay, I got 5 more minutes for y'all. Okay, so let's see what kind of whales. Because it's a little funny how it says how long can you live in a whale, and then it says let's just tell you what types of whales there are. Okay, we got the sperm whale, we got the blue whale, we got the killer whale, we got the humpback whale, we got the beluga whale, we got the North Pacific right whale. Is that a North Pacific left whale? We got the short fin pilot whale. Okay, those is all our whales. Okay, we already know it's not oxygen and there's no oxygen in the whale's stomach. Contrary to the deception of Pinocchio, a creature's stomach is not filled with breathable air. The stomach contracts regularly in order to store the food. So do not think you finna be up on, but did that really, but wait. Pinocchio wasn't even human, so how was that even a question? Pinocchio was made of wood, so the nigga didn't even need to breathe air. Like, make it make sense. When Pinocchio got swallowed by the whale, Pinocchio was made of wood. So how is that even a question? This is what I'm saying. Like, after a certain amount of time, Google just was like, you know what? We're just gonna put any answers with anything. Because the question that this person asked was, how long could a human being survive after being swallowed by a whale? And they said the Martin-like narrative. Somebody survived in the stomach, can survive inside the stomach. So this person did some. We're gonna read this answer because they did some research, and if they did some research and we don't feel like doing it, let's see what they came up with. My major concerns before doing any research are how realistically lethal are stomach bowels and suffocation risks inside another creature's body. What other serious risks must I be missing? I'm using a whale as a real world reference, but in the story, it's a fictional species of a fish, so creative adjustments can be made. True, true. Okay, what the hell is going on? He said, how can a whale, a fish, or some similar magical extraterrestrial creature swallow a log cabin? Does a flood wash the cabin out to sea where it floated until the sea creature swallowed it? Giant snakes can get big enough to swallow a grown man whole, but they contract and kill prey first. Only a large male sperm whale could possibly swallow a typical human alive, and he wouldn't live 16 hours. 16 hours. We know for a fact that you would live inside a sperm whale's stomach for 16 hours. Now, I don't know what kind of whale they was in when they lived 3 days and 3 nights. We don't know. We just know that it was a whale. What kind of whale? They didn't tell us, okay? We know that the one that got eaten halfway by the whale, that got spit up by the whale, that was a beluga whale. But that whale couldn't, even he said the whale couldn't have swallowed him because his throat wasn't big enough. Now, the other whales, we didn't question them. We wasn't like, hey, when you were sliding down the throat, well, did it feel big enough for you to fit? Because maybe I should be petty when I start asking questions. Like, when next time I meet a person, like, you got ate by a whale. Okay. How did it feel sliding down his throat? Like, we know the mouth is big. It's the throat that we be hearing is little. So, hell no. Okay, so he was looking for something to write in his story. He was looking that because that's what it sounded like. I know you like tweets. That is not what the fucking question was. Well, hey, I'm just reading, and that's what it. Because somebody else said from the sounds of it, maybe whale isn't the best creature to go with. If I were you, I'll use some kind of fictional levitation. Mm-hmm. Okay, so somebody said that you cannot survive long. I know you can't survive long. 16 hours, it might seem long in Earth time, but when you're in a whale's stomach and your skin is melting, I don't think 16 hours is a long time. Or maybe 16 hours is a long time to be in, to feel your skin melting off your body. Okay. Problem 1 would be oxygen. Contrary to, okay, we're not going to read that. One problem would be oxygen. Problem 2 would be swallowed debris. Let's assume the whale swallowed not only a man within its log cabin, but also a bubble of breathable air. The stomach contracts and moves in order to mix its content with stomach acid to aid digestion. This means massive logs and other debris are constantly moving around, most likely crushing or otherwise injuring the man. At the very least, they will hinder him from keeping his head in the air pocket. Stomach acid and panic. Now let's assume the man was swallowed with the breathable air pocket but without the breeze. He will now swim in one of the strongest naturally occurring acids in complete darkness. Realistically, he will have gotten stuff into his eyes and probably lungs as well, coughing, burning, pain in the eyes, and panic. It's damn hard to tell up and down in complete darkness, causing more panic. Well, yeah. If the creature is so big that he has to swim, he would swim in the slimy, vicious contents of the stomach, which would tire him out quickly. Even if he keeps his eyes and airway free of the acid, he will start to feel burning pain all over his body really soon. Eventually, either he gets some of the acid into his airway and suffocates, losing consciousness because of the pain, or simply tires out and drowns in acids. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So if the oxygen is not killed. The nigga made it be real though. Like, look, this nigga's stomach is big. You gonna drop in that acid. You gonna either drown from the acid, and even if you had an elbow around your mouth, you gonna still drown in this bitch. You dead. Okay, it's so dark and deep. He is not inside the stomach, but rather the swim bladder. Many fishes possess a swim bladder, a gas-filled organ that helps them balance out their weight and remain buoyant, making it easier for them to swim. Some fish called pyramids have a direct connection between the stomach and the swim bladder, not entirely unlike how land animals have a connection between the stomach and the lungs. These fish are able to fill their swim bladder with air by swimming to the surface and gulping the air. Our fish explorer was not swallowed so much as inhaled, which is how they end up in the swim bladder instead of the less habitable stomach. The details of gas in the swim bladder vary from one fish to the next. Some use swim bladders for oxygen exchange. Others will actually fill it with oxygen from their blood, though they don't usually keep it oxygenated to a particular level. It just happens to be the easiest gas they have available. Your person may actually have a problem from too much oxygen. Some will store oxygen in it when they are in shallow water and then consume the oxygen later when they dive deeper. Many don't care about the particular gases in it at all, since it's just blasphemous to them. They just fill it up from the atmosphere and leave it alone. This is probably your best bet for survival, since although the air is limited, it is at least still atmosphere air. Okay, so you can survive with certain sharks. That's what I'm getting from this. What are you getting from it? Drop it down in the comments. With particular kind of fish you are dealing with, depends on how long you want the person to be able to survive, but it is somewhat plausible to come up with a giant fish that a person can live in for a fair amount of time. If you want to get it really interesting, maybe this fish has an air breathable, so living in its swim bladder. This will explain why the fish maintains a breathable atmosphere inside and also give you a person something to interact with. Okay, now we know that if the whale swallows you, you probably don't end up in his stomach. You're like, Taquise, how the fuck is you about to end this fucking video? Because I could tell you was about to fucking end this video and I'm about to get a fucking attitude. Look, I'm sorry. My time is coming. My time is almost up. I gotta finish getting my kid ready for school. But we will, if y'all get this to 200 likes, we will come back and go into depth about that, because that just brought up a whole nother... that man just made us think of a whole nother thing. Like, wait, so you telling me that you could I could not end up in the stomach. I could end up in a whole nother part of the whale. And then you can probably survive. You need to investigate that. All right, y'all. Now, I know y'all like to squeeze this video No, this is not my 9 o'clock video. I posted it already. This is my Google question video. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a like, leave a comment, leave a this, leave a that, if you could clap in the motherfucking comments, I would tell your ass to go down there. But since you can't do that, go down there and drop a lot of emojis. Just go emoji crazy. Now, if you want to if you trying to keep up with the quiz, then I'm finna go over there and stalk a couple people. I got a morning video I gotta watch, and then I gotta go stalk J Vibes because I just got back in touch with her. So we gotta go over there. We gonna have a little minute because she got over 300 videos I gotta watch because it's been a whole year. But peace, and we out.